In this video, we will teach you how to properly identify and document errors in the narration that cannot be fixed with editing. During QC, we are ensuring that the work represents the narrator as positively as possible. It is our responsibility to thoroughly examine the narration from a listener's standpoint, investigating anything that could lead to confusion or inaccuracy in the intended meaning of the text. This requires audio engineers to develop and utilize a different skill set based in language more so than audio. If we don't catch these errors during QC, we run the risk of not getting the audiobook published. Let's start by looking through our QC pack. Please note that we will be using Command-Tab to switch between programs throughout this video. The QC pack is comprised of the PU folder for the audio pickups for each entry on the QC sheet, the QC sheet, which will be used to document your pickups, and the script, which we will be marking up and compiling before delivery. Before we move on, let's rename these files in accordance with our current project. First, we'll name the QC folder sample edit _ QC. Next, we'll name the PU folder sample edit _ PUs. Name the QC sheet sample edit _ QC sheet. Lastly, name the script sample edit _ highlight. Let's take a closer look at the QC sheet and learn how to notate pickups. The QC sheet is essential in helping your narrator and their engineer correctly re-record the errors in the narration. If you don't describe these accurately, you run the risk of the same error occurring during re-recording. Let's open the QC sheet now. At the top left of the page, we have the details for the project. The project title, names of the editors, and the final number of pickups. At the top right of the page, we have the key to our PU types. The main body of the QC sheet contains one line for each of the pickups, where we list the specific details of each error. From left to right, we have the PU number to help us stay organized throughout QC, the chapter or section number where the error occurred, the page number where the error occurred, the line where the error occurred, with a drop-down menu containing the general areas of the page, the day of recording in which the error occurred, the time at which the error occurred, the type of error with a drop-down menu of PU types, and the comment section, which describes the PU using the supplied template phrases. A consistent and clean QC sheet will be much appreciated by your narrator and their engineer. When you first begin QCing audiobooks, you will need to quickly learn the difference between an error that should be marked for pickup and an imperfection that doesn't negatively affect the script and should be left in. It is imperative that we find the balance between these two situations so we don't become too zoomed in on the wrong things. As a rule of thumb, misread, diction, and pronunciation errors are our focus, as they are the most detrimental to the story. Distortion, noise, and plosive errors are of secondary importance, can often be fixed in editing, and should only be marked as pickups when they are egregious and disruptive to the flow of narration. Pronunciation errors require the most investigative work of all the PU types. When you come across a pronunciation issue, you must be sure that the narrator is not using an alternate or regional pronunciation. When investigating pronunciation, there are multiple websites that contain audio samples which you can use as a reference. A good place to start is Merriam-Webster Online for American English and the Oxford Dictionary Online for British English. 4VO.com and howjustsay.com are both very helpful sites as well. If you can't find what you're looking for at any of those sites, you may be able to find a YouTube video with someone demonstrating the pronunciation. In general, the most important thing is that the narrator uses the same pronunciation consistently. If the issue is a very specific word relating to a rare body of knowledge or language, you may need to consult a professional in that field, or perhaps ask the author for guidance. Before we start QC, we need to create a render preset. To do this, make a random selection of audio and press A to open the render dialog box. To access the custom settings, press Create Named File. In the File Format field at the bottom of the window, click the filing cabinet icon and click Edit. In the Type field, select MPEG-1, Layer 3 or MP3. In the Channels field, select Mono Mix. In the Sample Rate field, select 44,100 Hz and click OK when Wavelab asks you to confirm the change. In the Encoding field, click the filing cabinet icon and click Edit. In the Encoder drop-down menu, select Fraunhofer. Below that, make sure Constant Bitrate is selected, and in the drop-down menu, select 128 kilobits per second. Under Method, select Highest Quality. When you are done, click OK. In the Metadata field, select Inherit from Source File. In the field at the very bottom of the current window, click the filing cabinet on the right and click Save As. We'll call this preset PU Export Mono 128 kbps MP3. When you're finished, click Save in the preset window, click OK in the encoder window, and click Cancel in the render window. You have just created the render preset for exporting PUs. When you come across a pickup, it needs to be documented in 3 ways. We will use the provided sample narration and pickups, as well as the QC sheet and the script to demonstrate this process. Make sure you have your QC sheet open in Excel, and open the sample script using Adobe Reader, which is both free and preferred for this task. Now, navigate to Wavelab. At approximately 21 seconds, the narrator makes a pronunciation error, mispronouncing the word discrepancy.
Noting any discrepancies between the narration and the text.
Step 1. The first thing we need to do is highlight or underline the script. Highlighting will work on most scripts, but if the script is poorly scanned or does not have OCR compatibility, you may need to underline it using an annotation tool. When highlighting, always use the 3-sentence rule, meaning highlight the sentence before, during, and after the error. After you have highlighted the script, you can export the audio pickup. Step 2. First, select the audio containing the 3 sentences you just underlined.
This is a sample script. Highlight it on the script. After you have highlighted
Now, press A to open the render window in WaveLab. Under Audio Range, make sure Selection is checked. Under Options, check Bypass Master Section on Resulting Audio File, as well as Bypass Master Section below it. You will also want to uncheck Open Resulting Audio File. In the section below, check Create Named File. Before naming the file, click the downward-facing arrow in the Name field and uncheck Auto Naming. Now we can name the pickup. The file naming convention for pickups is the number of the pickup, followed by the page number, followed by the title of the project. Name this pickup 001 underscore P002 underscore sample edit, all one word. In the Where File Selector box, click the folder icon and click Select Destination Folder. Navigate to the PU folder inside of the QC pack for this project and click Choose. In the File Format field, click the Filing Cabinet icon and select the PU export preset we created in the previous step. Now you can export your pickup by pressing OK. The next time you open this window, the only thing you should need to change is the name of the pickup. Step 3. Finally, you need to document the error on the QC sheet. To preserve your template phrases for later use, copy and paste them further down the page. Now enter the details of the pickup. Enter the approximate time at which the error occurs. This time is for your reference when inserting the pickup. If you start typing a template phrase in the comments field, it will auto-complete the phrase. Insert the word in question in place of the word example. If you are intending to correct the syllabic emphasis, it is also helpful to capitalize only the syllable which should be emphasized. You have now documented your first pickup. Follow these steps for all future pickups. Once we are finished with the QC pass, we need to compile the highlighted script before we send out our QC pack. We will do this in the Preview application. Open the script in Preview by right-clicking it and selecting Open With, then Preview. In the View menu, at the top of the screen, select Contact Sheet. Now, carefully select only the pages that you highlighted. You can select multiple pages by command-clicking on each additional page. Be very careful during this process, as it is the most important part of the QC pack. When you are finished, click and drag any of the selected pages inside the QC pack folder in the Finder window. This will create a new PDF. Rename that PDF Sample Edit _ compiled. Double-check the PDF to make sure it compiled correctly and contains the appropriate number of pages. We are using the Quick Look feature by pressing the spacebar. Next, we'll prepare the QC pack for delivery. Once you've compiled the highlighted script, put the number of PUs at the top of the QC sheet. Press Command-S to save your changes and close the QC sheet. Your QC pack is now complete. It is very important that the QC pack is accurate, so double-check everything before delivering it to the narrator. Once you've double and triple-checked your work, compress the QC pack folder by right-clicking it and selecting Compress. The resulting zip file is ready for delivery. When you receive the corrected PUs from your narrator, The first thing to do is to copy those files to your Safety Copies folder, as well as your Edited Files folder. We copied the sample PUs to the Safety Copies folder in the first video. Now, copy the sample PUs from the Real Audiobooks Practice Materials folder to the Edited Files folder inside your project folder and rename it sample_PUs_edit. Next, we need to listen to the PU audio as compared to the original audio. Open the sample PUs edit file in Wavelab now. Ideally, the narrator will have recorded this audio in the same location and with the same settings as the original audio. At times, however, the PU audio may be a bit louder or quieter than the original audio. You can adjust this using the gain function in Wavelab. We will use the first PU, PU1, to illustrate this. Listen to the PU audio versus the RR audio.
Noting any discrepancies between the narration and the text. Noting any discrepancies between the narration and the text.
In this example, the PU audio is slightly louder than the RR. The first thing we need to do is select all of the audio of PU1 and press Command-G to open the gain window. We like to use 2 dB increments for gain adjustments. Use the down arrow key to bring the gain to -2 dB and click Apply. Now, listen to the PU audio and the RR audio.
Noting any discrepancies between the narration and the text. Noting any discrepancies between the narration and the text.
If they are now gain matched, press Command-S to save your work and close the gain window. When inserting the PU, we have to take special care to make sure that our edits are seamless. We will hide our edits by replacing the minimum amount of audio necessary, and by varying the replacement selection until the edit is transparent. Start by making the edit at either a moment of silence or at an easily identifiable sound, such as a consonant or an S.
Noting any discrepancies between the narration. Noting any discrepancies between. Noting any discrepancies between the narration and the text.
Once you have successfully inserted the pickup, use editing to make sure the new audio is clean. When you are finished, press Command-S to save your changes. Follow these steps to insert the rest of the PUs.